Okay, hello Christine. My name is Emma. I will be your assessor for your assessment today. So I'm just going to explain a little bit about the assessment. So you're currently undertaking the course BSB 20120 in Certificate 2 in Workplace Skills. This unit is BSP PEF 201 and this is support personal wellbeing in the workplace. I'm going to just explain the assessment today and what it consists of. Okay, so just to find out a little bit of background about yourself, you're currently working for WA Police as a police officer. You're struggling to manage your time at the moment just with the workload that you have on, and you're doing this course to try and help yourself find tools and techniques to support your health and well-being within the workplace. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So I'm just going to explain the first part of the assessment. So there's 3 tasks to this assessment. The first task is written questions, which are your knowledge questions. The second task is a self-assessment, okay? And the third task is a practical communication plan, all right? In that task, we will be role-playing. So I'll be role-playing as your supervisor or your sergeant, and that will be a practical role play, but I'll explain a little bit more about that as we go along. This is your student assessment booklet here, so I'm just going to explain to you. I suggest you read through all of this on the front, okay? It just outlines exactly what the assessment consists of, and it will ask you to sign your name and date, and print your name, sign and date, which is an agreement by yourself. So just making sure you've read all the terms of the assessment and make sure that you understand everything. You have mentioned to me as well that you struggle with reading.
Yeah,
So a little bit slow with your reading, and that tends to affect your work performance as well. You struggle with your reports, filing your reports, writing up reports after jobs, and you struggle in that area a little bit. You also mentioned to me that you struggle with software and computer technology. So you would like an adjustment or some special assistance with those areas within the assessment.
That's right,
However, you are quite happy to do the written questions. You're going to give that a go yourself. With the written questions. There are only 6 of those questions, but if you need any help or guidance, or you need them verbalised to you, that is something we can also do to assist you, okay? But if you want to give that a go to start with, then that is absolutely fine. You can try doing that by yourself.
I will give it a go,
If you need any help with the submission part of that, okay, navigating the learner platform, our Blackboard, please let me know and I'll be able to guide you through the submission part of the assessment. Just a few things just to let you know. It will sort of state here as well your rights to appeal the decisions regarding your assessment as well, so just to make sure that you're aware of that. It does mention here about your special needs of considerations, so you can just mark down what we've discussed today. Okay, with your resubmissions, okay, so if you'll get 3 attempts, okay, at your submissions. So you'll have your first attempt and then you'll get 2 further attempts, okay. So what I will do is, should you not pass any of the tasks, I will let you know. I will provide you feedback, and then I will give you a due date of when it is to be resubmitted. Okay. Is that all clear for you?
Yes,
Understood?
that's very
Yes.
good, yeah.
Okay. We've also got here the due date, okay, of when the questions are due in. So just obviously ensure that you keep an eye on that due date, okay, for you to complete those questions.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me, Christine,
No, I
before
think
you
that's-
proceed with?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's, yeah, you've explained that okay.
Explained
brilliant.
everything to you.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is, what we'll do is we'll let you do your questions, and we'll catch up again, and I'll be able to I'll mark them, and I'll be able to give you some feedback on those questions. Then we can move to task 2.
Okay,
All
lovely,
right,
yeah,
thank
that's
you.
fine, thank you.
Okay. So just another thing as well in your assessment booklet. Okay, there is a candidate declaration that you'll need to complete. So that's just to ensure authenticity, that is you completing your assessment as well. So you'll be needed to sign and date that. Just going back to your issues with your reading skills, okay. Would you like me to verbalise the task instructions and the assessment papers to you, or are you able to read these yourself?
I'll be able to read them. Yeah, I'll be.
So you're fine to read the instructions,
Yes,
you don't need those verbalised?
No, that'll be okay.
Okay,
I can just read
fantastic.
that. Thank you.
Okay, hello Christine.
Hello.
Okay, so I obviously received an email from you regarding task 1, the written questions, just asking for some extra time as you were struggling to get the task completed within that due date. So we actually gave you an extension on that due date,
Mhm.
okay, and you successfully passed that task, okay.
Good.
I'd like to give you a little bit of feedback. So your answers were actually very informative and very clear, which is excellent work there. And the extra time was obviously necessary, but overall, you know, that enabled you to complete those questions correctly, okay? Keep up the good work and keep up working on your reading skills as well. So you mentioned to me that due to your you struggling with the reading side of things, and it took you a while to submit the written questions as well. You've now asked for task 2, the self-assessment quiz, to be verbally communicated.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So we're now going to move on to task 2. Okay, now with task 2, I'm just going to show you here. Okay, so again, you've got your candidate declaration here, just like what you did for task 1. So this is just to ensure authenticity. Okay, so just ensure that you are reading through that again for task 2, and you sign and date that for me. Okay, so we will move on to task 2. So I will now verbalise those questions for you. Okay, and obviously that is going to be in the recording. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our task 2 now. So like we said, I'm going to verbalise those questions to you. Okay, I'm going to scribe, and you are going to provide me the answers verbally. Okay. So we're going to start with question 1 of the self-assessment quiz. These are your workplace factors, okay? So I'm going to ask you the question, and then you're going to just give me the answer, okay?
Okay.
So is the job that you're doing, Christine, physically demanding?
Oh yes, I feel very much so. It has been in the past and even more so now.
I guess with that heart condition as well, it must be quite a worry for you if the job is quite physical, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Would you say it's mentally demanding?
Yes, yeah. I need to always, obviously, to concentrate and be alert, because accidents could always happen, especially in the workplace, you know.
Yeah. Would you say the job's stressful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. More and more criminals, paperwork, and less staff. A lot of people are calling in sick, and that puts more pressure on us than to, deal with the job.
Yeah. Do you think the workplace has realistic, achievable times for completion of your work?
No, not really. I've been working for 20 years, and we're expected to do 3 times the amount of work that we used to do. Everyone is so stressed with it all. Yeah.
And do you feel that your values, the workplace values your contributions to the job?
Yes and no, really. My colleagues value me because I'm the union rep, and I stand up for them. I don't feel like the company values me much. However long I've been with them, I don't feel that they support me.
Would you say it's a monotonous, boring or repetitive job?
No, every day is different.
Yeah, I guess on the job, you never know what you're going to be called to.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it involve continual problem solving?
Yes, always problem solving. Yes.
But you struggle with computer technology, so that must be a struggle for you as well.
Yes. All the time, yeah.
Does it require you to continually switch from one task to another?
Yes, we can't break if we're on a job, so we're always switching tasks all the time, yeah.
Okay. Do you find yourself regularly dealing with unforeseen incidents that change the nature of the task to be completed?
Yes, it's the nature of the job, really. Some days it can be absolutely manic, and yeah, we just go from one job to the next.
Okay. Do you find that you work longer than the hours that you are contracted to?
Oh yes, always, because sometimes, the job's got to be finished, and unfortunately, criminals don't clock off.
Okay. So with that in mind, would you say that you're regularly required to work over your 12-hour shifts?
Yes, 10-hour days, 5 days a week.
And sometimes you work over them shifts too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Days off per week, do you get to have at least one day off?
I get 2 days a week off, yeah.
Okay. Does the job require you to more than an hour to commute to that? To where you close by?
No, I drive, and it's an hour plus.
Oh, so it is an hour. So
yeah.
Okay. Would you say the workday fatigues you? So during the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally exhausted by the workload before even lunchtime.
Oh, okay. guess wearing that body armour all day
Yes.
would be quite exhausting. Would you say it was hazardous, the job?
Yes, constant risks of accidents in the job. Always having to be aware that, you know, something could happen at any time.
Is the job, do you find yourself performing the job in harsh or uncomfortable conditions, such as hot weather, humid weather, cold weather?
Oh yeah, well we work in all weathers, and as you mentioned before, the body armour, it's not easy at all.
Okay. Does the job have a good culture?
Yes, among us officers we have a good culture of having a beer after work, having a chat, talking about problems at home and all that. Yeah.
So you'd say you've made some beneficial work relationships?
Yes, I've made a lot of friends, they're like family.
Yep, great. And would you say that the workplace values individuality?
No, I'm not an individual, we all are all treated the same.
And would you say they're supportive to you?
No, not really. When I was injured, they gave me 3 days off work and then expected me back on the clock 6 days a week. I couldn't believe it. Also, they won't help me out with my heart condition or PTSD. That is all work related.
Okay. So we're just going to move on to the personal factors now. Do you feel that your work, do you feel conflicted between work and family commitments?
Yes, sometimes I'm so tired I can't do anything with my kids because the job has so worn me out to the extent, you know, you've got nothing left really.
And you mentioned heart condition and PTSD. That's the next question, suffering from any health or...
Yeah, heart condition and PTSD.
Do you have any responsibility for another person? Anybody?
Well, yeah, I've got 2 kids, but they're grown up.
Okay.
Kids are always your kids.
And would you say you have a happy, fulfilling relationship?
I have a beautiful family and great friends, just rarely get to see them.
Existing injury, could that be your heart
Yes, my heart.
condition? Okay. Live with any past trauma? You obviously mentioned your PTSD.
Well, yeah, there's lots of things that you say working on this job all the way through, yeah.
Okay. Do you feel financially stable?
Well, the interest rates are high at the moment and wages haven't gone up much in the last 10 years in comparison. So that has me on edge a bit, but I don't feel unstable. I manage it.
Do you feel stable in the work role itself?
Yeah, I don't worry that I'll get fired. I've been there so long, I know how to run the whole show. Plus, they're desperate for good cops.
Yeah. And would you say you drink daily alcohol?
No, sometimes only when I'm stressed, so not daily.
Okay. Would you use any or consume any substances?
No, never. Too many drug tests at work anyway to get away with that.
Okay, so you don't have an addiction to anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you take any routine prescription medication?
Only medication for my heart and anxiety.
Do you feel happy most days?
Half and half. Some days I'm happy, other days I'm tired and miserable.
Do you feel like you over worry about things?
Yeah, I always worry about my health and stress of work.
would you say you drink 8 glasses of water per day?
No, I really should drink more.
Okay. Do you have a balanced diet?
No, I'd like to, but unfortunately, again, work long hours, and it's toast for breakfast, sandwich for lunch, and takeaway for dinner.
Do you get sufficient sleep before you start your day?
Oh, not really. No, my sleep cycle has been ruined from years of shift work. Most of the guys at work have the same problem with night shifts, plus my medication disrupts my sleep.
Would you say you get any relaxation time?
When I get home, I fall asleep.
Do you have a second job?
No,
Do you use public transport to get to work?
no,
Drive your car, do you?
yeah.
Do you feel fatigued when you arrive at work?
Yes, because I'm not sleeping well, and I worry quite a bit about my heart
Okay.
issues.
Do you do any physical exercise?
Well, not really. I don't get enough free time. Sometimes on a Sunday I can go for a walk.
I guess the job keeps you fit in itself.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you go to sleep at around the same time each night?
Not if I'm on a rotating roster with shift work. It doesn't happen.
And you mentioned about your sleep, so do you have disrupted sleep on at least 2 consecutive nights?
Yeah, because of shift work really, and the medication.
And do you switch your phone off onto silent to avoid disruption when you're sleeping?
Well, no. It's on all the time in case of my kids need me.
Okay. So you've obviously verbalised all of your answers to me. I've verbalised the questions to you. I've scribed down all your answers. Okay. So we will revisit this for some feedback.
Okay. Fine, yeah.
So the next part of your task will be to review your answers. Okay. How do you feel about doing this by yourself, or would you like me to verbally communicate that with you?
I think I'd like to have a try of doing it.
Try to do this yourself.
Myself, yeah,
okay?
and if I struggle, I'll ask you then.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
yeah.
fantastic. So what we'll do is I'll just show you the next part of the assessment, okay? So it's a review of your answers and for you to find the resources to help manage these things in your life, okay? So think about informal and formal ways that you can think of ways that you can manage diet, lifestyle, sleeping patterns, overall health, rostered schedule hours, and your work duties. Okay, you feel like you can give this one a go yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I will leave you to do this, to complete this, and then we'll come back and we'll do some feedback overall.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, hello Christine, welcome back. Okay, so I've marked your task B, okay, so task 2B, which was you coming up with some informal and formal resources to manage your health and well-being, okay, in the workplace and how it can be accessed. All right. You asked to give this one a go yourself. You didn't want it verbalised. You successfully completed the task. Okay. So first of all, we'll start with task 2. So your answers were verbally communicated and I scribed them due to your reading skills and you needing some help in that area. You also mentioned to me that you're struggling with navigating the Blackboard system and submitting your assessments as well. So we did that verbally, okay. Excellent verbal communication skills there. You're obviously a lot more confident in verbally communicating than you feel that you are when writing or reading and using the technology. So excellent work there. However, your task 2B, which was your completing the resources for the answers to your health and wellbeing, okay, they were done written, and you didn't seem to have too much of a problem with that, I'm guessing. No, you were able to read them. There wasn't too much text for you to have to read through, because you'd already answered those questions prior as well. It gave you a little bit of knowledge in that area as well for you then to think about the resources as well. So you successfully completed task 2B. You did mention to me you struggled again with the submission for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had some help from you for that.
Yeah.
Actually submitting.
Yeah. So we guided you through that submission, and then you were able to obviously complete that task. Okay. We're now going to move on to task 3. Okay. So I'm just going to explain task 3 to you here. Okay, so this is a practical task. So task A is you're going to be creating a communication plan. Okay, so you're going to select, develop and submit this communication plan, and that is something you're going to discuss with your supervisor in task B. Remember I said to you I'm going to play the role of your supervisor in task B, so we're going to do a role play. Task A is you preparing for that meeting, okay? So think about your communication styles, okay? Think about the points that you want to discuss with him, okay? The most appropriate method for communication. Think about the things that you do want to discuss, whether they're personal factors, workplace factors, things that are affecting you. So, you know, whether that's health concerns, whether it's shift work, think about the things that you want to discuss, okay? And think about a solution as well. So don't go in there with a problem, you want to think about a solution as well. So all of those things, okay? So it explains it all here, it's all written down for you, okay? So I want you to go away, think about preparing what you're going to prepare for this meeting, okay? And then email, obviously, the supervisor with the communication plan, okay?
Yeah.
Well, that's your submission, all right? Then once you've done that, we'll move on to task B, which we will role play that scenario.
Okay. Yep.
Is everything clear to
Yes,
you?
yes.
Any questions?
No, I think that's clear. Thank
So
you.
same thing again. You will be. It will ask you just to complete the candidate declaration. So just be sure to complete that, sign and date.
Will do. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Christine.
Oh, hello.
Back again.
Right.
Okay, so your task was to come up with your communication plan, and you wanted to run that through with me beforehand, before we move into task B, the role play.
Yes, so I've thought about my communication plan and what I'd like to do, and first I'm going to ask for the supervisor's secretary if I can make time to talk with him during the next 2 weeks. So that gives the supervisor a chance to choose a good time. I'm asking for a meeting because I prefer to talk face to face, not by phone or email. It gives me a chance to resolve things in the moment, or at least have a back and forth conversation rather than writing, which, as you know, I'm not good at. So when I arrive, I'll say hello and all that. Then I plan to say, today I would like to talk to you about 2 things. And that way, then I know the supervisor is not going to take ages. First, I would like to discuss my issues about allocating more time to complete my tasks and the stress triggers of my PTSD and heart condition. And then I have trouble with sleep. I'm asking if I could get a schedule that minimises the changes that may help reduce my hours. And that way I don't feel like I'm just whinging, I'm suggesting a solution. That would be the number 1 thing that would improve my health and well-being more than anything. If the supervisor says no, the plan to see my GP before the meeting and getting a letter to strongly recommend the changes to my work. If that doesn't work, I'll say thank you and go to the union about it. The second issue I'll bring up is just to let my supervisor know about this course I'm doing and how it's giving me useful skills and knowledge, and to apply for a position in the office to enable me to stay up to date with computer technology. I just want to plant the seed for the next year when the new jobs come up. I'll try and keep it brief, and at the end I will say, I know you're busy and thank you for your time.
Okay, fantastic, Christine. Okay, so we're now going to move on to the second part of the task, which is role playing that communication plan. Okay, so like mentioned before, I'm going to play the role as your supervisor, and you're just going to discuss everything that you have pre-planned with myself. Okay, so we'll start that now. Are you ready? You happy to move on with that? Okay. So I'm your supervisor. Hello, Christine. How can I help you today? I don't have a lot of time, so please let me know what your concerns are.
Okay, well, thank you for meeting with me today. And what I'd like to discuss is issues that I've got with my PTSD, my lack of skills in computer literacy, and how it affects me and affects my sleep. I hardly sleep. I'm having a bad time with sleeping, and I'm concerned that this is going to affect my well-being, and having a schedule which stresses you more than your problem, it makes it worse.
Okay, so I'm glad that you've come to me about these issues. How do you feel like it's impacting on your actual job role?
Well, yeah, because lack of sleep, obviously I can't concentrate, and also it's slowing me down because I've got lack of computer knowledge, so it's slowing me down with my work, and I can't concentrate.
Well, I'd definitely like to help you here, Christine. What assistance could I give you to help with these issues?
Well, I think firstly, reduced hours would help, and if I could get some help with a PTSD, counselling of some kind, and support with my heart condition that I have, that would help me enormously.
That would make you feel better about what is going to obviously assist you in your health and well-being. If we can get on top of your health conditions as well, and maybe reduce those hours.
Yes.
So that way you'll be able to improve on your sleep as well. I'm definitely happy to look into these things for you. Okay, leave it with me, and I'll definitely get you the support that you need.
Thank you, thanks.
Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I think we've covered everything really
Yeah.
well, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we're now going to just give you some feedback. So I've marked your assessment task task 3A as competent. You successfully passed that.
Oh,
I thought the information that you provided, the planning of the meeting was very good. Okay, you thought about all the things that you wanted to talk about. You thought how you was going to communicate that, and yeah, you took your time to think about what was important, and you kept it brief as well. In your role play, okay, obviously you excel in your verbal communication, and you showed some really good understanding there as well. I would just say maybe just finish the conversation off by thanking the supervisor for his time. Okay. However, you did actively listen to him. I felt that you went in nice and calm. You went in organised. You planned exactly what you were going to say, which was fantastic. Maybe a little bit of work on reading your tasks. Okay. So some reading would be a great idea to increase the reading time and understanding. So just make sure that you take your time to read through everything before you complete those tasks as well. But overall, really good work.
oh good,
Okay.
thank you.
So our last section is part C, where you have reviewed the meeting, okay, which you were happy to complete by yourself.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask you the questions, okay? Just sorry. I'm going to ask you the questions that you wanted this verbalised.
Yeah.
Again, so that you could communicate with these face to face with myself, and I'm going to scribe again for you. Okay.
Yep.
So, Christine, do you feel that you chose the correct method of communication?
Yeah, I think it was good to talk face to face because I think the supervisor could see that I'm not looking well. So he could see that it was a more serious issue
Affecting
here.
you. Okay. Do you feel that you selected the appropriate communication style?
Yeah, it worked well with the problem and the solution. And when I said to the supervisor, I wanted to talk about two things, I felt that he really started to pay attention.
Okay. Do you feel that you're prepared for the conversation?
Yes, sorting out a new schedule helped, and the letter from the GP confirmed the problem.
And do you feel that the supervisor heard your concerns?
Yeah, I was happy that he did listen. They did listen.
Do you think you would have said or done anything differently if you had your time again?
No, I was pretty happy with how everything went today, really, everything, yeah.
Okay. So that is the end of, sorry, there's one more question. Do you think you communicated effectively?
Yeah, I did. That's why I preferred to do a face-to-face. I was clear, I kept calm and kept it short and sweet, and it worked well.
Excellent. Okay, that finalises the review. Okay.
Okay.
So I will come back to you once it's all been marked, and I will come back to you with some feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi Christine, welcome
Hello.
back. Okay, congratulations on passing the assessment.
Thank
Your
you.
hard work and dedication has definitely paid off. I did notice you had some challenges with obviously meeting the deadlines due to your reading time. So to help you improve in these areas, I have thought of a couple of things, some strategies to help you. So firstly, prioritising your tasks and focus on completing the most important ones first, okay? You could experiment with different reading strategies, okay? So such as skimming, scanning, summarising to improve your reading speed and your comprehension there as well. Also try to use the management techniques like the Pomodoro technique to break down tasks into smaller manageable chunks and take regular breaks, okay?
Yeah.
That's all going to assist with your reading there. Overall, really really good work on your knowledge on this unit, okay? Really good and a really good understanding of the unit, okay? Your verbal communication skills are fantastic. We just need a little bit of improvement on those reading skills. That's obviously going to help you within your work position as well there. Okay. Is there any feedback you would like to say to me as an assessor of how I have been in the assessment with you, guiding you?
Well, just that it's been really helpful. Yeah, you've been really helpful
Okay.
in everything that you've helped me with. Well, I couldn't have got through it without you, I don't think.
Okay, so the verbalised communication and the scribing
Yes,
has obviously helped you with some of those tasks.
absolutely,
And
yes.
the extra time given for the knowledge questions.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, you felt like I did everything I could to guide you through
Oh,
the
yeah,
assessment.
yeah.
Assessment instructions were clear,
Mhm.
and everything was provided to you.
Yes,
Okay,
really good.
fantastic.
Thank
Well,
you.
well done, Christine.
Thank you.